Peace, everybody out there. I hope you're doing well. You are on the Real HD show, the higher discussion. This is the show that you're going to find on these or any other airwaves, bringing you that truth, that freedom, that justice, that liberation. But we do it with what? Freedom music. Freedom music happens from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. And tonight we were jamming. We were playing some Earth, Wind, and Fire. We were playing some Mau Mau from the movie Bamboozled. We were playing. Wow, we played so much. It was dope. Put a battery in your back, get you going, get you moving in the right direction. You know what I mean? We are the Real HD show. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Turn on all your notifications so when we're live like this, you too can join us and have a higher discussion. Here's the link for the show on the bottom. G3IJF. I'm sorry, I'll start over. G3IJH WBMPF. I put it to everybody in the Facebook Real HD Show chat, the Instagram Real HD Show chat, the Twitch Real HD Show chat. So please jump in. The water's fine. We about to get deep enough to swim in. We doing the Diddler part 2 tonight. Sub Elite COINTELPRO. Huh? Yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, do it. But before we get crazy, before we get too far gone, we are going to jump into a joint that we all know and love, that we all kind of long for, even if it kind of gets on your nerves or you don't want to hear it. It's a comforting thing. It's a thing that you can put in your back pocket. It's like a warm hug from your grandmother, a good pound and a grab you in from your grandfather or your uncle. It's the elders and ancestors blueprint. Why? Because we are sitting on, or standing on for that matter. Some people sit, some people stand. Don't you be chair dancing. Get up. You know what I mean? If you could walk, if you could talk, you could sing. If you could walk, you could dance. So African proverb. Um, so we're doing the elders and ancestors blueprint. Why? Because we are the living embodiment of our ancestors' achievements and contributions. And sometimes we try to reinvent the wheel with what we're doing, when really we need to kind of go back, look at what's been done, look at what our ancestors and our elders laid down for us, and then say, well, it may not be what it was then, but I could change it, I could rearrange it, I can make it better for us. If I just take this and tweak this, because ain't nothing new under the sun. But right now we're gonna go to the Mau Mau's out of Kenya for tonight's Elders and Ancestors Blueprint on the Real HD show, and then we're gonna do a part 2 of it, follow up with Brother Malcolm. Check it out. Fair use 107 USC 106 Real HD show. Fair use. Check it out.
Africa is a very small one. Even the 4.5 million Africans who live in Kenya outside the Kikuyu territory are not involved. The active terrorists are only a small proportion of the 1.5 million Kikuyu, Embu and Meru people, though because of fear, most of the Kikuyu tribe has aided them.
The underground organizers embarked on a campaign to unify the entire African population. The settlers and the colonial government gradually became aware of the oathing ceremonies, and in 1950, the government outlawed the Mau Mau Society, which they said was responsible for administering illegal oaths. The words Mau Mau meant nothing in any language in Kenya.
All right. And then what we have to remember is that the Mau Mau was an extreme revolutionary fighting force in Kenya. That video did not do that justice. But what we will do, though, is we will come on back and we will show what Brother Malcolm had to say about the Kenyan struggle and the Kenyan revolutionary attempts of the Mau Mau to make Kenya better, and how he put that in perspective for us right here in the United States. Okay. Hmm. All right, here we go. Real HD Show. Check it out.
That didn't just defend themselves from specific acts, but initiated acts of terrorism. Do you favor that in this country?
No, I think that the conditions that prevailed in Kenya forced the Mau Mau to take action. And any action that they took, even though it seemed that they were initiating it, actually it was a defensive action, and it was a reaction to the colonial powers that were exploiting them.
But do you favor such an organization here?
Does white America favor the Ku Klux Klan or the Citizens Council? And as long as the government, police bodies, do nothing about the existence of white terror groups that are terrorizing blacks, then it's time for blacks to do whatever is necessary to put these white terror groups in their place. And I feel that a Mau Mau could wipe out the Klan in the north, south, east, and west, and wherever it exists. I'm not against the idea at all.
All right, so there you have it, everybody. We are blasting off to mad people. We're in the middle of a elders and ancestors blueprint moment on the Real HD Show, and we were talking about how Brother Malcolm thought about the Mau Mau of Kenya, and I'm going to find that other vid while I'm talking to you about it. So I'm here, you're there. We are blasting off to 5 Facebook channels. We are on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Mobcrush, D Live, Trovo Nation. We are everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD Show. Please check us out. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. And let's make it happen. All right. So the Mau Mau of Kenya, they were a fierce revolutionary fighting force, and some people call them aggressors. Now, one person's aggressor is another person's freedom force. You know what I'm saying? So Britain invaded East Africa in multiple stages in the years of the late 19th century. They conquered many different peoples and destroyed traditional societies that existed for centuries. To maximize British profits, white settlers invited the colonial government and granted land and trading licenses. They displaced thousands of Kenyans, especially the ethnic group of the Kikuyu. They were pushed to so-called reserves, barred from owning land in white areas, just like the Aranea in South Africa when they're trying to get that white-only town in South Africa, but the Supreme Court of South Africa denied it. Many Kikuyu lived and worked in white-owned farms, so they basically had their own Jim Crow, migrated to Nairobi, where many lived in impoverished, hazardous areas. Unsurprisingly, the Kikuyu that organized the resistance against the rule began. In the 1920s, they protested, captured and seized lands, racist policies and the educational system run by Christian missions and other impositions, and as attempted prohibition of female circumcision. Trying to find a little bit more. Okay. So there you got it in a nutshell. So then when they got to interviewing Brother Malcolm, they asked Brother Malcolm, what do you think about the Mau Mau? And then, of course, with Brother Malcolm's background, you can almost know what he was going to say because his family was terrorized by the Ku Klux Klan. So he knows what it's like to be on lands where uh, you need vanguard, you need protection, you need people that are on your side, willing to put it down, willing to get it in a moment's notice to protect you and yours. But unfortunately, you kind of in the minority at the time. You by yourself. You're not unified with a nation group, society, state that has a militia group that's ready to protect you from things like the KKK or like the white settlers that terrorized the the Gikuyu in Kenya. So shout out to the Mau. Shout out to Brother Malcolm for recognizing those parallels in life, liberty, and justice, and not being able to, not scared to speak their piece. You know what I'm saying? You got way too many people in this day and age trying to butter their biscuits on both sides that won't really speak the truth, know the truth, won't speak the truth because they're afraid to lose. They're afraid to lose their bearings, resources, status, so on and so forth. You know, um, if you can't see that this whole puppeteer show, this whole cloak and dagger thing that they're doing with, let me give you a little bit and take it away. Let me give you a little status and take it away. If you haven't learned from Diddy and his rise and fall about you should speak up for yourself and do what you need to do for you and your people because no one else is going to do it. And you have a pledge to those who came before you to make this world better than you inherited it. All right. That was our elders and ancestors blueprint on the Real HD Show. So now we're going to jump into our AAT health report. Cue the music. All right, we are in the middle, or we just got started with our AAT report, Healthy, Wealthier, and Wiser for a Brand New You. Why? Because we need cell power. And because several years ago, we entered into a worldwide health epidemic that left a lot of us passed away. A lot of us did not make it. And a lot of us have lingering health effects because of it. Those of us who got the, JU ice, it left us with some, pre-existing conditions right now. And it metastasized a lot of pre-existing conditions. And even breathing in those masks, constantly breathing in that carbon dioxide instead of having that natural flow of oxygen to carbon dioxide balance left us real jacked up. So we do the AAT report to bring you anything that we can bring you that's healthy, wealthier, and to make you healthier, wealthier, and wiser as we move forward in the 21st century. All right, so shout out to Sincere for this. And as a matter of fact, I got a video directly from him. Peace. Peace. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Bike Life Jones. That's a dope name. I like that. Bike Life Jones. I too like to get in a dope bike ride myself. I love it. Ain't nothing like, getting on a bike and, just flowing. That you're getting all that air in you. You're getting a good workout, breaking a good sweat. You hitting it, you traveling. You know what I mean? Time traveling. You know what I'm saying? Love it, love it, love it. The car is dope. The car gets you where you gotta be. Get you where you gotta be. A to B, but bike is real hot too. ATVs, motorcycles, all that good stuff. But let's get back to the AAT report. Let's get into something about the science of chocolate. Okay. So we're gonna go to this video that talks about the science of chocolate. If you're listening to this, if you're within the sound of this show and you want to tap in, you want to put something in the chat, let us know where you at. You can, please feel free. Get on it as much as you can, so that we can be better as a people. It's your voice, your victory. It's the Real HD Show. Let's go. This first clip comes from the Tom Hartman Show. Now, if y'all been watching the show for a minute now, y'all know I get my info. Knowledge is knowledge, facts is facts. You got to vet it for yourself to see if it's, right and exact. You got to put it through the 120 to get to the 360. So here's one from this man, Tom Hartman. His information is pretty vetted. It's pretty steady. So here's this piece on eating chocolate that can help reverse the aging process. Let's build on it. Real HD Show. Check it out. Fair use, fair use.
I'll pick up your phone calls. This is an amazing study. This was a study that was done on 84,709 postmenopausal women in the United States. It's a study that took 19 years. And what they found was that the women who ate almost an ounce of chocolate a day had the lowest risk of dying young. It's 28 grams of chocolate. It's like, a chocolate bar once a day. Now, the downside, of course, is if you're eating chocolate that's got a lot of sugar in it, you're going to ruin your teeth, and that's not good for your body, and it can screw with your metabolism. But they do sell, this 90% chocolate and the 80%. I actually love those chocolates. I love the 90%. Louise can't even eat the 90%. So I buy the 70%. She can sort of eat that. She's more into milk chocolate, but this is amazing. Chocolate eaters were less likely to die of heart disease and some cancers compared with people who never indulge. And the reason why, they're pretty sure cocoa is known to lower blood pressure. It's known to stop the fat buildup in your arteries. And again, look at the chocolate bar. If it says made with milk fat, you don't want that, because milk fat actually does, dairy products contribute to heart disease, right? But if it's made with cocoa butter, then apparently that's good for you, at least according to this study.
All right, so there you have it on that tip. And I don't think that I think that also extends beyond eating the chocolate as a healthy piece, as long as it's, organic chocolate and it's, like you said, 70 to 90% of it can extend your life, lowers blood pressure, lowers cholesterol. It's an overall, energy booster. I'm sure Maccabee has something on chocolate. Maybe I'll bring that up next week. Let us know what you think about that, because we got a lot of people who, are looking for different things to help their loved ones with, who, aren't well. They want to help their people. They want to make sure their grandmothers and their grandfathers and their elder uncles and aunts, cousins that are elder live as long and have as much vitality as humanly possible. Chocolate is one of them joints. All right, man. So we got another clip coming up on the show. Remember, there's the link down below. Put it in your address bar up above. Or if you got it in the Real HD Show links and chat rooms on Instagram and Facebook, you could just hit the link and jump on in. Hit me up on the jack. Hit me up on the phone. Let me know if the link is working. I tested it twice today, so it looks like it is doing what it's supposed to do. If it's not, let me know. Make sure you hit the click here link next to the Chrome message. Once you get into it, some will let you load right up, and some will give you the Chrome message. Hit the click here button. Don't go all the way down the page. Just hit the click here button. It'll automatically take you to Chrome. And Firefox is also good to see the show through. We are the Real HD Show. We are the higher discussion. Back into an AAT report, Healthy, Wealthier, and Wiser for a brand new you. We want to talk about a couple of other things. We got a pretty lengthy AAT report tonight because we're not going to be back on till Monday. So that gives us a lot of time, and I'm just giving people time to tap in and get involved with the show. So we have this other joint called In the Food. Shout out to Sincere out of the X. He sent me this video. Let's check it out. Let's build on it. And end. Let's see what's really popping with it. Can it help us or hurt us? Should we be aware of it? Should we move accordingly? And what sort of preparedness can we use based on the information that we get from this one? Check it out. Really's D Show.
Think is the same is not the same anymore. You know, everybody's for free choice. Whether we're liberal or whether we're conservative, we've all got that streak in us. But the fact is, you cannot have free choice unless you have an informed choice. And you can't have an informed choice if they're lying about what's on the label. What about Pam cooking spray? Everybody knows what Pam is. It's some kind of little healthy oil with compressed air that you spray it and it gets on your pan. It's not compressed air. That, you know, and they don't tell you, but it's butane and propane. People don't understand that they are spraying lighter fluid on their children's hotcakes, and it's fabulously successful.
All right. So there you have it. There you have it. You have Gape, Mozzie in the building. What's going on? What's going on, my generals, my warriors? You know what I'm saying? Peace to y'all.
Yep, just bear with me.
No, you go, brother. You go, brother. Do your thing. We were just in the middle of an AAT report, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wiser. We were going over the science on Pam spray and how it has butane in it. I'll play it one more time for the slow people in the back. Real HD Show. Check it out.
It's the food that they think is the same is not the same anymore. You know, everybody's for free choice. Whether we're liberal or whether we're conservative, we've all got that streak in us. But the fact is, you cannot have free choice unless you have an informed choice. And you can't have an informed choice if they're lying about what's on the label. What about Pam cooking spray? Everybody knows what Pam is. It's some kind of little healthy oil with compressed air that you spray it and it gets on your pan. It's not compressed air. That, you know, and they don't tell you, but it's butane and propane. People don't understand that they are spraying lighter fluid on their children's hotcakes, and it's fabulously successful.
Yeah, man. So we're talking about the legacy of good old Pam spray. Now we all do what we can in the way that we can and how we can to eat healthy, live healthy. Well, at least I hope. You know what I mean? You know, in my days in teaching, I see mad folks bringing their kids to school, feeding them all kinds of junk, from chips to cheese doodles to McDonald's, all kinds of stuff. And when you see them parents bring them kids into school, you'll be like, man, he gonna be in my office, because you know they just starting off wrong. But what happens when you're at home and you have sprays like Pam and certain cooking oils, and you know those things are made with butane and propane? That's wild. And, you know, that's been such a staple in diets for so long. I don't know a kitchen in America that didn't have Pam cooking spray in it. Brother Mozzie, what's your thoughts on this, bro? Look like you might be out and about or in a car or something.
Yeah, I'm in the car driving.
I hear you, bro.
And for some
Have you
reason,
ever did the lighter trick with the Pam spray?
nah, Pam spray wasn't something that was in my house growing up.
Oh,
man.
okay.
You know, my mom's certain things she just didn't use.
Nah, that's dope. Moms
And
are
Pam
smart.
was one of them.
Moms
You know,
are
as long as
smart.
you got that cast iron skillet,
Uh-huh.
you know, you good.
Right, exactly.
And you cure it properly. You know, and your mom made you some eggs in the morning. They didn't stick to the pan.
Your
She
mom
made you
was
those
nice.
pancakes with
Your
those
mom was
crispy
nice.
edges. Yeah, she was. Listen, man, my mom was she in the kitchen. She knew what to do, man, and
For sure.
her food was so good that everybody wanted her to cook.
Right. I miss mine too, man. My mom been going for quite a while now, quite some years, and my mom's could burn too.
Yeah.
You know, and it was always like, you know, Like, hey, I want to learn how you don't make that stuff stick because I'm grown folk and I still make my stuff stick sometimes. So
For real.
you know what I'm saying?
To the
You
point
know,
where you ready to go out and buy yourself some of them T-file pans.
you know, you know the Teflon joints. You know. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
man.
so we're hoping that we can get. Hey, peace, cuz. How you doing? Glad you could join the show. Hey, man, if you want to come on up, man, the link below, man. Let us know. Let us know what ST is talking about. Let us know what's going on in the ST multiverse. I know you got you wearing a lot of hats, doing a lot of things, brother. Come on through if you want. Hang out with us on the Real HD show, or you can listen, make some comments. You know what I'm saying? Um, how was Grandma Gee's cooking? She ain't need that pan, right? She ain't need that Pam spray. You know what I'm saying? Grandma Mimi cooking. They ain't need that Pam spray. They was nice with it. You know what I mean? Flip the food upside down, spin around, catch it, put it back on the pot. Yeah, man. They used to get busy. So we're here in an AAT report. And first we were talking about how chocolate extends life because it lower in premenopausal women or just people in general because it lowers cholesterol and it also lowers blood pressure and it also is an energy boost. It doesn't last very long. There's a crash at the end of it, but for women, it seems to be a diuretic that can further their lives, according to university studies. Have you ever come across that, bro? What you know about chocolate extending life, man? Have we found a new fountain of youth out this piece? What's going on?
Once again, man, seems like everything dark is good for you.
Ah, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because um, the more research they do, because the research that was done years ago was all done more or less to prove a certain superiority and inferiority.
Mm,
And so certain items, because chocolate is not indigenous to America, so they
right.
didn't want to go and find the cacao and make the chocolate and all that from someplace else and find out, hey, this is actually pretty good for you. But what did they do? They made an industry out of it.
Mm.
They made it very expensive, and then you got the Swiss chocolate, which is extremely expensive. That's like, uh, it's like the cream de la creme, but it's all the same stuff, man. They come from the same places. They just learn from somebody how to make it really good, and so it became a huge delicacy.
Yeah, especially with the advent of sugar. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If you could break it down to its, to its lower chemical compounds, and then provide sugar to it, and then you can call it milk chocolate or call it a milk dud if you want. Somebody was gonna
Hmm.
buy it. And then the ill piece is they made instead of making chocolate a health diuretic, they entrapped you with the holiday piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
Yep.
chocolate is only good on certain holidays, Easter, Valentine's Day, whoop de whoop, wop, wop, wop. You know what I mean? And now you feeling like you can't even just enjoy what's natural out the ground every day if it wasn't some, special occasion that you had to, celebrate. You know what I mean? Or, and now, of course, they got you on the tax piece because they make the chocolate expensive. They make it linked to these holidays. And now you buying super duper expensive stuff on holidays and yada yada yada. When you could be growing the stuff in your backyard, man. You could be like free forming it and being in a co-op where you got tomatoes, I get chocolate. You got this, I get that. You know what I mean? And making it more of a everyday holistic part of what you do. Um, yeah, man. So we were in that was our AAT report, healthy, wealthy, and riser for a brand new you. Why? Because we need cell power um in our lives because of the recent events over the last couple of years robbed us of a lot of health, wealth, and vitality, and we need to get it back. So that was our AAT report. Now we're going to get into a lit city report here on the Real HD show. What is the Lit City Report? The Lit City Report is the wild. Oh, you know what? Pause that. I wanted to get into something I haven't done in a while. And that's a part of the show called Respect My Goofy, man. And that's when we get into some things that might be old school, new school, but they funny, give us a little bit of levity on the show. We're going to get into it right now because my man sent me this and I thought it was wild, interesting. It's a throwback for sure. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got Similac behind the ears and you got a little wind behind your back, you'll know where this one is coming from. And it's very interesting based on the movie that just came out. They cloned Tyrone. Now, this particular ditty that I'm about to show you, pause. This one was an old school joint that nobody thought would have future, remnants in the future, presence in the future. So let's check this out. Billy D. Williams commercial about a 3-piece on the Real HD show. Check it out.
To buy my new fried chicken, that is. Sure enough. I used to work for the Pentagon. Now I help you to get your chicken on. And for a limited time only, order a 8-piece nappy meal and get a 32-ounce malt liquor absolutely free.
You be buying, we be frying. General's chicken, the best chicken in the leg press and thigh, sweet potato pie, General's fried chicken.
Oh, that's
General's fried chicken is butt kicking. General's fried, you know it tastes so good.
Introducing the Nappy Meal from GFC.
This chicken is the bomb.
At the General's, we do chicken right on.
Yeah, man. So we back on the Real HD show, talking about some General's fried chicken. And you know what's interesting about that commercial, or the part that was from the movie with Dave Chappelle and Eddie Griffin. What was the name of that joint? He played the spy. He played the spy joint. What was that name? Oh my gosh. What was the name of that joint? Hold on. Dave Chappelle. Movies. Let me go to his IMDb page and find out what the name is. Undercover Brother. There you go. Undercover Brother. You ever check that one out? Got Undercover Brother, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Griffin.
Yeah, that was C.G. Williams as General Sal and Undercover Brother. Yeah, when they had his mind mesmerized and he's working for the man and they co-opted his whole thing. General, yeah, I seen that. That's my show.
Yeah, man.
And I was gonna say with that Pam thing, I seen that same video. I thought it was like I think there are lots of viable, beautifully crafted lawsuits waiting to happen for things like that, because Pam that's basically the largest class action. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, that's how Muslims changed Skittles and the company that sells them, let's say Mars. The reason that they don't put pork in their products is because they didn't cite that the gelatin that they were using is a pork-based product. So because they did not notify you, it's not an informed decision. You violated those religious rights. And the same thing with the woman in the McDonald's cup of coffee. So with Pam, you intentionally disguised. You did not put what you know would have hurt your marketing, because it would have hurt your marketing because of what it is made for. So you intentionally tried to deceive me on a product you know I technically need, because you assisted and create a system where parents and families center around cooking, around, like, because humans are frugivores. So Pam has no place in a human life because humans are frutivores. Like we should be eating fruits and vegetables, things you don't necessarily need Pam for, right? Things, the cast iron skillet or many non-stick things. Like there's so many things. Most of the things that we need to eat that help us live, we don't need Pam for. So Pam needs that market to exist. You need people to eat eggs so that you can use Pam. You need people to eat meat so you can use Pam. Pam needs a reason for it. So it has to market itself in a way where it's viable to the subconscious, and there it's a guilty pleasure or it's not a guilty pleasure. The fact that you deprived me from that and you weren't open about that, that's where you're liable, and that's where it's a class action. And all it take, if I had like a couple of weeks to write it out, then people would just need to sign on, and then you file it and you put a lien on Pam, and they get to go to court like everybody else, 1983, and they're gonna have 100,000 lawyers. And as long as you can win that question of fact, as long as you can go in court with their language and say, all right, cool. But according to your book, is this that? And they say, yes, that's that. Oh, well, then that's all there is to it. Now it's cash the check. Just like you do in the process, finish the process. Thank you. I'll be back with another one. That's how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to be a revolving door. But, it's a whole bunch of stuff in Black life. First of all, everything in Black life is actionable. We can sue for all of it. It's all in some way, shape, or form negligence on the part of the people who are mentally disabled who classify themselves as white, because you're mentally disabled and you're not supposed to be in a position of authority and in a position of power. And so everything you marketed, everything you put, all of your businesses, including Pam and those like them, you need to be, it just take little lawsuits. Once one hit, copycat league. That's all I had to say.
I missed like the last 3 seconds, but I got a question. I got a question for you on that. Yeah, I appreciate yeah, it was probably a little interference. So we'll take turns when I'll mute when you come on and so on. So got you. You can still hear me though, right? All right, cool. So you know how melanin is aromatic, the same, just like Pam cooking spray is aromatic, right? So when we're constantly using those things, we depend on that love synapse in the way that we cook to transfer into a healthy subconscious while we're eating. So not only do you get the nutritional value, but you get the endorphin raise, you get the serotonin raise through the love and the preparation of the cooking from your loved ones, right? Do you think that the Pam spray, and this is going to get a little deep, people at home could chime in with me, peace to Stiggs, peace to ST, peace to everybody watching the show right now. Do you think the aerosol content and the smoke content from all kinds of oils like grease oil, canola oil, all of the oils that we're not supposed to consume, do you think those things interrupt that aromatic process, that love energy that goes into the cooking, if it's done over a long enough period of time within one's life and development? What's your thoughts on that, bro? And people at home, tell us too, man. Do you think the Pam spray and all the cooking sprays, you ever walk into somebody's kitchen and it smell like whatever? And then you're in that state of mind instead of being in the state of mind for what you intended to be there for, which is to, check on your loved ones, say what's up to your people. And even if it's for a second, even if it's for 5 seconds, if it captivates your senses, it could distract you from what's really important. What's your thoughts, bro?
Well, melanin, for those who don't know, melanin is an antioxidant that absorbs the toxin and holds it in place and releases it in small amounts such that it doesn't harm your body. So this is why it seems like it's hard to shake drugs, certain drugs like cocaine, sugar, crack, and chocolate for drugs that are molecules apart that uh, easily bind to melanin sites. And because of their toxic levels, if you have them at abnormally large amounts, then it to keep you from getting obese or cancer or dying or anything like this, it releases it in trace amounts. This is to say, with PAM, your body will take in the PAM, the chemicals, and your melanin, if it's in a healthy state, absorbs the toxins and releases it in a non-life-threatening manner. Over time, your melanin will wear out, as in it won't be as strong. You know, you won't have that connection. Why? Because you will have extra glycation or poison from poisoned cells, useless cells taking up space, so you won't be able to make as much melanin to protect you. It won't, it's not that the melanin gets weak, is that the numbers, the ratio is out of balance. So taking in chemical poisons, making your body work 1,000 times harder for minute chemical poisons is overworking your body, and nobody can heal when nobody can heal. Like, that is just what it is. So what people have to do is, when they realize these things, cease and desist and start countermeasures like diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth and activated charcoal draw all of the heavy metals and toxins out of your body. Ionized foot bath. Ionized foot bath draws everything out from your feet. You know, doing these things to cleanse your body and then keeping your body clean is how you counter this, because then PAM stays on the shelf and no one buys it. And when no one buys it, because we know it has poison in it. If Pam openly told you, we put crack inside the can, like Coca-Cola,
I like that.
right? Would you still go buy it? So if you're buying it, then, you know, kudos to you. You're not gonna die. You sound like Adam and Eve trying out some new shit that they should have just listened to God on, but decided we gonna listen to the devil. And he gonna hit you with some technical shit like, well, you know, technically you're not gonna die right now if you eat some fried chicken that was sprayed with Pam. But, you know, who cares? Right. So, I mean, did you know that Pam had paint thinner in it? And if you did you feed it to someone? Then you didn't love them. You were trying to put the you know, the coolant in the Kool-Aid. You was trying to smoke somebody. That's how it looked. If you know something is bad or poisonous, and you give it to somebody anyway, then you look like, you can't say you love me, we're friends, and you keep feeding me unhealthy garbage, but you cooking it with soul. That don't work that way. You know, pork is absolutely bad for me, 100%. But that's all we got. So if I cook it with love and make the chemicals and the toxins go away, no. It makes you poisoned, but in love.
You heard it right here on the Real HD show. Agape dropping it. That's why I threw that to you, bro. You know, that's why I threw the softball to you, because I knew you was gonna knock it out the park, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. So we were in a AAT report, and my brother came on and absolutely smashed it. I appreciate you so much. Hey, bro, did you hear about the Russell Maroon piece out of Philly, Pennsylvania? The brother that was on death row and beat his charges. Yeah, beat his charges. He was on death row. Democracy Now! Did a piece on it. Let's just jump into the Lit City report. The weird, the wacky, the wonderful things that make our world go round. Let's talk about Russell Maroon. And play a little clip from Democracy Now! And then everybody else who wants to jump in, please do. The clip or the call letters are below. Feel free, come on through. The water's fine. We getting deep enough to swim in right here on the Real HD show. I promise you, it's not a who knows more contest. We just trying to add on and be strong. So jump in with us, Real HD show. Check this out. 107 USC 106. Fair use.
held for more than 2 decades in solitary confinement, has won a permanent reprieve from solitary and nearly $100,000 in a settlement with the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections. Russell Maroon Shoatz was convicted in 1970 of first-degree murder for an attack on a Philadelphia police station that left one officer killed and another wounded. In the 1980s, he became active with the Pennsylvania Association of Lifers and worked to abolish sentences of life without parole. He was placed in solitary confinement for the next 22 consecutive years. Shoatz issued a response to the settlement through his lawyer saying, quote, "I have always chosen to fight. Frederick Douglass was right when he said power concedes nothing without a demand, so have no doubt I see this settlement as anything but the latest blow struck," unquote. Many people say Shoatz's more than 2 decades stay in solitary confinement was retaliation for his activism. This is War Resisters League leader Matt Meyer speaking on Democracy Now! In 2013 about Russell Maroon Shoatz's solitary confinement.
All right, so that's it right there. We're not gonna play it. If y'all want to go to NPR, support that brother's story, support that brother's travails. Gape, man, jump on, man. Let us know, man, because I know some of these issues may be dear to you. I'm not sure if you have heard about this brother, but if you haven't, and you have a little bit of glimpse into his travails right now, what are your thoughts? And what are your thoughts on the prison industrial complex as it exists? And if giving you some trinkets in the form of money, even though money is changing as we know right now, money's changing. The fiat currency is going into a whole nother multiverse right now. So now we want to come out and grab for the brother and do something decent after putting the brother through decades of pain. What say you? I'm muting my mic. You rock the floor.
Okay. First, peace to him and congratulations to him for getting them crackers for any bread. You should get a cracker for every dollar that he has available when you want to use it. So good for him. I'm gonna say, as a revolutionary and a fellow freedom fighter, any win, no matter how small the win, is a win indeed. He didn't win his freedom, but he won freedom from solitary confinement, which in and of itself is free in and of itself. I've been in solitary confinement in any place. It's never been good. 23-1. You're inside your cell for 23 hours. Well, in solitary confinement in Philly, in common law states, the 23-1 is 24 hours a day. And then you either get the window cell or not. So either he saw feet in grass, or all he saw was grass, or he only saw concrete. Either way, he didn't talk to people and he didn't have cellmates. So that effect by itself drives a human insane, because we are communicative creatures and multicellular organisms that need other cells. Like, that's how you live. Like people saying, I don't need nobody. You really do, though, technically, because if you was by yourself, you would die, even if you had enough food, right? So this is what confinement will do to a nigga. It'll drive a nigga crazy. But 100 bands in Philly, that's gonna be good money. I just hope that he was able to change the case in his freedom, or he argues a different law. He seems pretty astute, and he's got to be to win a civil suit. But he might be looking at law the wrong way. So I hope he used the money to change his stay in order to get his freedom, because with a little bit of money, you can make yourself such a threat that people want you out of jail. They don't want you in jail, because jail becomes more lucrative for you. When you make your imprisonment more lucrative for you than the people who put you there, then they want to get you out. And so with a little bit of money, it could go a long way in ripple effect if they see that you know what to do with it. Yeah, so he won 100 grand. 100 grand in the state of New York. Oh, all right. I got room.
Okay, no problem.
So, what did it end up doing is like with 100 bands, you could bail out enough people in Rochester. If I looked at 20 cases, I could take 20 cases from Rochester, New York, bail them out of jail, clog up the system with trial so much so that nobody in jail could make it to trial on time because the people outside of jail would be taking them through it with those 20 cases and cause a default in the processing and backlogging of the system with just 100 bands, and actually with like 35, 40. But you could do enough petty cases to fuck it up for the felonies that they would have to forfeit felonies, and forfeited felonies mean civil lawsuits, and they would have to pay for each person. And you could go for $1,000 a day or $250,000 a day for wrongful convictions. So if you just like, I know 100 wrongful convictions. So if you just empower them 100 people for appeals, for example, 50 people, 20 people, 10 people, each of them cases is worth millions and like my case is worth about $23 million by myself. So 100 grand goes $7,000 for a lawyer for my case. My paperwork goes in less than 6 months. I have $23 million more. I got a homeboy that's worth $57 million on the quote. I got another one that's worth 100. I got another one that's worth 22. I got one that's collecting 80 from the shit they collected. Like, it's so many different ways. With a little bit of money, you can free. By freeing people, you get paid. That's where the money is at. The money is in the freedom.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you a question, man. I got a couple questions to ask you. First one is, with the amount of people who do the work release programs or even the prison work programs as they are, kind of constituted now, do you think that there's a lawsuit in the savage inequalities of the way that people are paid under these prison work programs? And should they, as a function of their liberty, be seeking suits over their, dispensation of, income?
Absolutely. There are two steps. First, every person incarcerated, which is why I'm starting the Universal Political Party. You heard it here first. Universal Political Party, first political party that's always up, never down, and forever sticking around because we always fight oppression. As long as oppression lives, we have a purpose. When oppression no longer exists, when racism no longer exists, the party will dissolve. It will dissolve. It won't need to be a political party, or will change its name and purpose entirely. Until then, this is what we push. And what do we push? We push the acceptance and understanding that every person born in and of this country, whose homeland is this country, is American first. All right, so if you're American first, then every law, bylaw, partial law is there to protect and preserve the U.S. Constitution. And if you have been oppressed or conveniently incarcerated, or the penal law has created itself in any way to make it oppressive against you, then this is an institution that is adversarial against the American way, or the American U.S. Constitution. Such crimes and constitutional crimes should be exhausted and exposed and expunged, and people who are hurt by these crimes should be compensated. And that compensation looks like making those people who are considered indentured servants but Americans by proxy or by birth actual citizens. So those individuals who call themselves Black, the first thing they need to do is nationalize themselves and recognize America as theirs. Boom, check. So when they secure their party, and that's what we do, secure the party for the party, secure their American nationalization. Now, these 43 million Black people become 43 million Americans who only 2 million Americans vote.
Right.
Okay. Niggas don't need to vote. Niggas can mail in and niggas can write names in. So now that we know this, that we don't actually have to go there. We just need the sources for our party to collect our ballots for us. And then you put one of us in office, like a nigga like me, and then we end up freeing niggas. But we don't wait on one nigga, right? First, make yourself an American national. That means they have to deal with the Constitution first from now on. From now on. As long as they got to keep it in Constitution, they don't know the Constitution. They don't study the Constitution. They don't read the Constitution. So just by changing your status, you'll see in your life, you'll change your credit, you'll change your birth, you'll change your travel, you change how you do. It automatically changes what side of the ledger you're dealing with, private or public, right? So that's the first step. The second step is becoming active in the political process, because when people know that you are going to take administrative action, white people, that is white people's kryptonite. Right? Power to the people. That's white people's kryptonite is administration action. Like telling somebody, yo, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna put a lien on you. I'm gonna put a commercial lien on you, and I'm gonna keep it there for 99 years. It's gonna freeze your entire life. And while people are thinking like, oh, what's he saying? What's he talking about? Crackers know what that means, bro. They know. When you know how to do it, when you do it for real, when you've done it one time, the person you did it to will tell his friends, don't fuck with this nigga right here, that one with the hard ER, that one, leave him alone. And that's how it goes. Like even the people that's incarcerated. When I was in prison, I did 10 years. I have no scratches on my face. You know what I'm saying? My shit pretty. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to all the jails in upstate New York that was crazy or rioting. And I beat all my violent tickets, so I have no sustained acts of violence against anybody in green. I have 0 sustained acts of violence against anybody in blue. And the ones where I did put my hands on somebody in blue is not recorded because they put their hands on me first, and then they found out I was in the military. So they didn't record that, so that don't count. So every ticket I ever had was a rioting ticket or a ticket on revolution or got to do with protesting. I never was not me, and I got my own money, and I didn't have to sell crack and kill my peoples to get it. And all of that doing, I learned that when you talking to these people in court, and if you play in their game and you know their language, they will play along with you and shut up, because they don't want you to mess up what they got going on. And if you are not gonna go for it and you're gonna go all out, then go with a straight face and stand on the conviction, on your conviction. Stand on the courage of your convictions and stand on every principle you're making by knowing what you need to know and having your nationalization in place. Because once you have that, then you become either an independent party or you join my party. And if you're no longer Republican or Democrat, but you're an American national, then they don't know where you are and they're forever pander to you. And so you'll always see them doing both dances, and you'll know who to vote for. You'll be able to expose them, because if you're not Republican, you're not Democrat, then they have to earn your vote. So they have to lie to you and tell you why you should vote for them. But if it's 10 people who are not either Republican or Democrat, and Rebel Ridge is fired.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. The martial art is very accurate to the Marine Corps. Is very accurate to military. It's based on a true story.
When you were building on self-defense, I was thinking of this movie, and I was thinking of a lot of the tactics that the brother used in order to, matriculate himself and take down a whole town, a whole southern, Rico militia-ish type effort. And watch that, man. Watch that. And, what's dope about it is he tried to go about it from peaceful means and diplomatic means and correspondence and business means. And then at a certain point, bro was like, all right, you gotta get these paws.
Right. Nah, for real though, that movie is solid. I don't refer many movies, pardon me, but that movie I just seen it. It's based on a town in North Carolina that just got flooded out. But what that sheriff was doing, he was doing in Nichols, North Carolina. Now they didn't have no dude be a black superhero, but they definitely was stealing people money and sending them to prison and getting them killed in prison. And they was definitely doing that system a lot, them shenanigans a lot. So that's real. That's crazy. But yeah, people nationalize themselves and leave the Republican Democratic space open. Just leave it open, and they don't know where you're gonna vote. Then they're gonna pander to you. You're gonna see the real them, and you're gonna make an informed decision. If you hide your vote and hide what you're thinking and don't give them agreement or disagreement, then they aren't sure about what they're selling you, and you can see the truth. And if the people in prison are in the same party, then their political party has a voice. Then people can't do anything they want to them. You can't attack Democrats or Republicans individually that are Americans. Nigga, we'll send the military at you, nigga. It'll be problems. You can't do that. So people that's just black, that's just out there, they get attacked because black don't mean nothing. They know that. They know that. They know black don't mean shit, just like white don't mean shit.
I was about to say social constructs. Yeah. Oh, okay, go ahead. Now, if you gotta dip, because it look like you're working, brother. If you gotta dip and do some extra things, no worries. I get it. Yeah, they social constructs for sure. But until our people galvanize enough to call ourselves in proper persona, right? Then we're gonna be treading water like this, tread water like De La Soul, that old school joint. So I'm glad I got you on, man. I wanted to talk to you about something. I'm gonna share my screen. If you guys want to do the Diddy stuff, y'all jump in the comments and let me know. If y'all don't want to do the Diddy stuff, I don't have to. I'm doing it from a different angle. You know my style. I'm not plain Jane. I'm not gonna give you chocolate milk. I'm gonna give you that castor oil. I'm gonna give you that yucky stuff. But it's good for you, and it's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you prepared, so you don't have to be running scared. So in local news, Rochester has a nuisance program that they just trying to unveil, and the Minority Reporter unveiled this particular piece. And one person's nuisance is another person's, livelihood. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you have echoes of Birth of a Nation mixed in there, the classic stereotypical crap. So Rochester has. Let me see. Can y'all see that at home? Let me make it bigger so the people at home can see. So Rochester has a program aimed at curtailing nuisance activity around the city, but is it effective? Okay, so that's what the Minority Reporter is kicking right now. I'm gonna read a little byline from it, and then I want to get brother Agape's. I want to get the Dragon Moore's opinion on this. So it says Rochester's nuisance point system was originally established as a way to identify and correct chronic nuisance activity that can have a negative impact on the community. But is it working? And they show a picture of this joint on Thurston, boarded up and secure, emulating 12 nuisance points. Even that language is crazy due to unauthorized parties and late night activities spilling over into adjacent properties like they care. The program, which was implemented in the 90s during the former Mayor Johnson's administration, applies to businesses and residential properties around the city. Many residents are not even aware of the existence of the program. According to Rochester's website, some 30 plus activities can be considered a nuisance. Examples include violence, loud music, gun violence, see, all the stereotypical crap, drug dealing, selling cigarettes from the trunk of a car, and prostitution. If any of these activities are reported or observed to be happening, on any property around the city. The property is given nuisance points, and the property owner is notified as such. If the property owner fails to address and lessen the nuisance activity, and the number of points exceed a pre-established number set by the authorities, the city can take action which could result in the closure of that property or business. Now, if we're talking about the Thurston joint, we know that that's a lot of folks with melanated businesses in them areas. You know what I'm saying? My Thurston people, tap in. Let us know what you think about this new nuisance piece. Like I said, one man's nuisance, one woman's nuisance is another person's, hand-to-hand business because of the savage inequalities, not being able to find work or start your own proprietorship due to the racist inequalities that exist, may have this being something that, inhibits a lot of people from being on the street making money. Now, according to the Constitution, mobility is an unalienable right. Talk to us, brother Agape, about this Minority Reporter piece. Nuisance activity. Is this just another savage inequality popping off in the middle of Rochester, or do you see something? Is this a foreshadow for something later coming down the line?
Well, they're playing an old game with a new con because they do nuisance points for businesses. Like if you have a club, or if you got like a hole in the wall, or if you got a bar or place that public frequents where alcohol is served or alcohol is permitted, and there's a chance that alcohol causes what it causes, you know what I'm saying? There's a chance that people will go out. You get points for running your establishment, for receiving money. So for them to apply nuisance points on property that's owned by an American, you can't do certain municipal rules or laws to natural citizens, Americans. Certain things don't apply. So you don't have the authority to do it. Oh, I had it in the wrong spot. My bad. You don't have the authority to do the right thing, but it's not foreshadowing. It's more of they showing their hand, and you could tell there's racism in the specificity to say cigarettes sold without a tax ID are illegal. Whether they're sold out of a car or not is not important. So the fact that you specifying out of the car, you're saying, yeah, we know white people also sell cigarettes in white neighborhoods out of their house, but as long as we know black people do it out of their car, your laws are stereotypical. When your laws respond to stereotypes and not crime, they don't actually change anything. And this happens because you don't got the right people in city council, you don't got the right people in politics, and they're making up these rules and policies that you later agree to go with because you paid the taxes to go with it, as opposed to saying, all right, I'm offering the money you're willing to accept on the contract, and if you breach your contract in any way, my money is still gone. You already used it. Now I get compensation from you breaching contract in city office. The city did not do whatever it was supposed to do, and it makes excuses for it or apologizes for it. This is every city. Every government is saying, oh, sorry, we didn't get to do all the stuff we supposed to do, but y'all got more rules. You can't give me more rules and take my money and not have accomplished anything. So if I accept a new rule moving forward, that means you produced the other end of the deal. So if you give me another rule and I say, okay, all right, I'll play this game, and you fuck around and give me a nuisance on my new property, or this church is getting a nuisance point. Oh, really? Thank you. Now I'm gonna have to audit you, and I need everything that you did. I need to know everything you did already. After the first audit, because when you audit, you have to freeze accounts. The person that you auditing can't make no money. So that don't mean they don't have bills, right? Your bill's gonna keep going because what you got with other people ain't got nothing to do with what you got with me. And so you can't make no money right now because we got to count all the money you made. And you might have made a lot. So that might take us a long time. So when you can't pay your bills because your life is in shambles, all because you thought you was hot shit, running for City Hall, making fake ass rules, when you can't take care of yourself, you will shut the fuck up and sit down. You will get out the way. You will move. You won't be blocking no progress. Or we could just fuck all the fuckery. No disrespect to the language part of me, but I know a couple of ignorant niggas that waiting to go to jail. They trying to get 18 to life.
we all do.
I got a couple of them. They trying to get 25 and they looking for a big homie to put them on. You heard? Put me on. Tell me, hey, homie. What's his name? Tell me what to do. So you don't want that end. So you might as well go with the business end. The business end is I ain't gonna complain with you. I ain't gonna argue. I'm gonna make 100 complaints on comments online, and then I'm gonna push this administrative button.
Hey man, Agape swinging for the fences right now on the Real HD show, man. I line up the questions, he knock them out the park. That's how we do it right now. He kind of gave us the answer to my question and a solution to the problem. One more point of awareness before I throw it back to Agape is that this is going on all over the country. This is not just Rochester. Rochester is just the latest to be impacted by it. This is going on in Memphis. Whenever black people try to, melanated people try to extend themselves and be sole proprietors, they'll throw this nuisance thing at them and then try to capture their business in an effort to, minimize their rise into the middle class or upper middle class or what have you. Whatever ascension they're trying to reach. They're doing it in Atlanta. It's heavy in Atlanta. That's a lot of activity around melanated folks in Atlanta trying to get it how they live. And they want businesses, they want storefronts, they want brick and mortars, they want online pieces. And then as soon as that nuisance piece hits their business in a successive fashion over a certain amount of time, they're trying to confiscate their wares, their business, their livelihood over what is codified basically to be like, what do you call that? Misdemeanors, affectionate misdemeanors. Especially when it happens in communities where nobody GAFs, you know what I mean? When nobody GAFs in that community and it's normal for that community, who are you to say that that's a nuisance? You know what I'm saying? Who are you to say that's a nuisance? Or is the tax of it all what you're after? The citation, the transaction of it all, what you're after? Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
That's fine that they could do that, but if we're gonna go through the book, let's go through the whole book. So let's start with people under oath, and let me see how many of y'all is like registered under oath. Because if you're not under oath, it's a felony if you try and give a policy. So if we're gonna play the game, this all I'm saying is play the whole game, and then we'll see where we go from there. Because who giving the nuisances and where are the nuisance tickets being written, and who came up with it, who invented it, who wrote it. Because if the police wrote it, that's called a conflict of interest. Now, this officer is out of his jurisdiction. Whatever officers was in on the writing of it was out of their jurisdiction, and since they can't stand for, show, and prove, they, you know what I'm saying, call them forward, and you get rid of them. When you start making examples out of people because they're not protected by the system, then you'll get the change you're looking for, because then people know they're not safe. There's nowhere they could go. They get in the system and block people and protect themselves by gatekeeping through little things, processing of business loans or processing and filing of certain paperwork, not informing people about certain steps, having them go like they play gatekeeper games because we let them, because we didn't actually know what we're going to do before we get there.
Yes, sir.
Here's a solution, original people. Learn who you are that can refute it, and then manifest it. And if you were to manifest it, you would say you would if I am Chief Pi Atum Asar Kaldrin Al Tahuti the first, primordial Heka of Al Kubulan, the Temple of Knowledge and Divinity, and the first Abba Father of the original nation of the universe. I manifest my chiefdom, pharaonic to my kingship, my royalty and regality every day. And I tell motherfuckers, even my boss, bitch, you got me fucked up. You know I'm silent. I'm playing with you. I'm coming here to work with you. We work as business partners. I do this job for you. You give me money. And I think about other things during my time. You don't question me. I don't question you. And that's what it is. Now I've done that twice with raises. So it does work. I also use this in business life because if you're going to be free, if you're going to be royal, you have to stop thinking slave. You have to stop thinking servant. You have to stop thinking employee. You have to stop thinking student. You have to start thinking teacher. You have to start understanding that learned men teach themselves and they are already learned because they stand in that what they learn. They show and prove in every day.
Yes, sir.
That's just what it is. Like you can't play because you're gonna come across me. And my middle name's Armageddon. So everywhere is war to me.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
For sure.
I did the PIC series, and I'm willing to do a status class series. Would you be willing to join me on the show at a time? We can even pre-tape it if you want, but I'd like to do it live so we can get the people on, because I know there's a lot of people that want this, or they may not even know they want it, and when they hear us break it down and they hear us do the knowledge and the science to it, they're gonna want it. So would you be willing? And I won't put you on the spot right now, bro. But would you be willing to come on and do like a 5-part status class series on the show and really get instrumental, really get dogmatic, really get doctrine related with how people can change their status, seek that knowledge, wisdom, and liberation in those regards, and do it like a 3-4 part series. And we could even relate it to some things popping, right now, currently, so people can relate, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? I'd be willing to do it with you. I know me and you was building on it heavy at one time when I was at your West, and we never really got to finish and continue. But that doesn't mean we can't do it here.
We did continue. We didn't end it. I never ended. So that chapter never closed because we're still in that process. But what I am doing now is completing the process for myself and my clan, because you need 13 members to be a clan, right? 50 members for a tribe, 20,000 for a nation. You need a flag, you need a language, you need a constitution, you need a religion. I would love to go through each part and show people what they need of their own and how we can have them make their own, and how we can actually have it real by adding it to a petition in existence of what already exists. If
let's do it.
If 13 tribes of 13 come together and say we are 13 tribes, who can say otherwise? They don't say otherwise. No one. If they're nationals, then it's the country coming together. Y'all out? For sure. You got them out? I'll be here early.
Yeah, man. So we talking about this, and I wanted to get the one more. So let's do that, man. Let's talk off air. I'll hit you up in your DM or on your phone, and we can talk about how we're gonna put this together. So look out for that for the Real HD show coming up. Status classes. We got you. We coming with that fire, baby. Let us know. We gonna do it. All right. So, and we reaching everywhere, man. Right now we broadcasting to 15 channels right now. We all over the place. We where you want to be. We got to Real HD show.
Then when we do plan it, we're gonna get a billboard. I'm gonna get a billboard and make sure people can tap in.
So maybe do you want to do it on location? Because we could do it up in the EXP studios, and we could just be on location, me and you, and we could do like a classroom piece.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, because then I could bring everything and we can make I will preset templates for individuals to download PDF files and walk them through each system, each process, because the status conversation is really about re-education, in as much as you need to relearn what it means to be a citizen or not, a national or not, an American or not. And then it's really about the creativeness of how you use the cash flow to make more money. So what other businesses you're funding or fueling, and the conglomerates you make, the different corporations you make, the non-for-profits you make, and what they actually claim to do or what they're claiming to get money from, and then what they actually do. Now the key is you're starting up whole freedom families, and freedom families must, until the last slave is free, must ensure the forward movement of the freedom train.
So I know the family in Georgia that got the 97 acres. I'm hearing that they're doing those very same things. They have they changed their status. They're living a total organic lifestyle and claiming their own self as nation and kingdom. And I had when I was doing my Melanated Farmers show, I had a brother and a sister that was down with them, ready to connect with me, but then we kind of lost contact and they weren't able to do the show. I could get them back on, and they can also kind of update us on how they're doing in Georgia with their 97 acres. But they're trying to make
that would be a family you would want to definitely and get and see what their map is. I am preparing for capitalism. So some people is leaving the system and trying to just stay away from the shit and off the grid. And that's 97 acres. And that's, a Black Wall Street. Right. I want them to pay for their demise like they made us pay for it. So their demise is the rise of a pharaonic black man, the first original man who says, I am the pharaoh of, and this is my nation, and here is my militia, and here the first man does this, whether it's true or not. If he got like 13 witnesses to verify, it's going to put shit in fear in them yakas' boots immediately, because it will be like a wildfire. It's like the first black man said he wanted to rap. As soon as he got out public and he wanted to rap, what happened? Now, what's the most exported? It's hip hop, right? It's the largest American export, right? Culture.
Let me do this last story, and I'll get your opinion on it too. It's this one right here. It says Pasco Sheriff created futuristic program to stop crime before it happens. It monitors and harasses families across the county. So it says targeted. Pasco Sheriff took office in 2011 with a bold plan to create a cutting-edge intelligence program that would stop crime before it happened, almost like some Vanilla Sky Minority Reporter stuff, right? What he actually built was a system to consciously monitor and harass Pasco County residents as per the Tampa Bay Times. Sheriff office generates a list of people it considers to be likely to break the law based on arrest histories, unspecific intelligence, and arbitrary decisions by police analysis. Then it sends deputies to find and interrogate anyone whose name appears, often without probable cause, a search warrant, or evidence for a specific crime. So, bro, we got a real life Minority Reporter, real life Vanilla Sky moment popping, and a lot of other states and city municipalities are following suit. What say you in this development? And How do you see this matriculating?
They voted for that nigga. I mean, that brother. And if they were smart, first of all, let me show you. Rochester, right? Rochester got like almost 1 million people, but they be reporting 240,000. But it don't matter. Only 3,000 niggas went to go vote. So if you got a sheriff that's making up laws and you can prove that he racist, then sue him for being racist every trip. Call every person who work under him racist every trip. When you call, ask for the non-racist police and say, hey, I thought y'all said y'all was sending the non-racist police. Why you sent me some white people? And when you do that, they have to send them back. I sent police back before. Listen, I can't tell you about my emergency because you're racist. You got to go back. They don't know how to respond to that. They be like, what? Listen, excuse me, can I get somebody that's not racist here? He called me a nigga. It's not on camera. Nobody will believe you if you say he did something wrong against you that don't make sense. But if you say something that he did, that he didn't do, but he could have did because of how he is, it makes sense. If it makes sense, it's real. It's just real. You know what I mean? It could have been true. Cause he could have called you, he said it in his heart. If you know, so a man thinketh, so he is. So if you say, man, that man called me nigga, and you think he said it in his mind, all right, it count. So now, what he gonna say? No? All right, he say no. But do your mama know you called me a nigga? If he say no to that, he racist anyway. That's the catch all. So if you could catch, I caught my judge being racist. He not a judge no more. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't care what people are saying, man. Racism don't rule the day. They not hanging brothers outside for real. They ducking. That's a murder. Okay? You kill somebody today, that's murder. You want in jail. If they really was about that, you would know who was doing what. You wouldn't have cloak and dagger. Niggas wouldn't be trying to hide from the feds. Why? They'd be in jail. When they're in jail in every state except California, there's somebody's vagina. They know that. They know that. They know what it is when they go behind the wall. That's why they don't be trying to go. This is why. So
let me ask you a question real quick. If you see the picture here, you see, let me enlarge it. Maybe you can see it better. This is a very diverse group of people that are impacted by this, right? And do you think we should take a more, denominational approach to fight something like this? You know, melanated people deal with melanated people, or should we be on our Fred Hampton to bring more attention to a galvanized group of people, and then parse it out from there? What's your thoughts?
we should give truth its moment in time. And so by that I mean, if white doesn't really exist, then this is not a diverse group of people. It's just niggas. It's just regular people. Because white don't exist. Because what do you call the people? If white don't exist and black don't exist, what do you call them? Well, where are they from? And you're going to say, well, China, Samoa. No, they're from America. Well, they're American. All right, cool. Now, are they the descendants of original people? If they're the descendants of original people, then this is their country. So it goes away when you stop being racist. When you stop pretending that white is actually superior, and it's not. It's not. It's completely recessive. Everything about it is recessive. That's just reality, right? Now, what are you going to do with life? If you removed all of the white in America and you was not white, tomorrow you couldn't use white to save your life. If your life depended on it, admit you're white and die. How many white people is going to be running around America? Niggas going to be all kinds of English, Gaelic, Celtic, dirty Irish, clean Irish, Italian, Sicilian, black Sicilian. You will make up
Right.
1,000 different things not to be the one thing that's not popular.
Yeah. Especially if
White,
folks,
we talking about white. White was never popular.
yeah, especially if folks is kicking the bucket for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Hey, listen, it's been a great episode tonight on the Real HD Show. Don't let Agape hog all the spotlight. Y'all get up in here and let's have a higher discussion. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on all your notifications so that we can have a higher discussion. I'm your host, Vic. That's Agape right there. We are about to close out. Brother Agape, you got anything before we get up out of here? And say peace to the family.
I can leave you with a piece. Will I be? They go, will I be all I was made to be? Will I have all that was made for me? Or will some devils laugh as they lay wait for me? Will I wander a slave's path, far, far away from free? What is written in my destiny? What is scripted nonetheless will be. Deuces. Peace to the true and living.
All right, family. Peace, everybody, man. Y'all peace. Walk with power. And we will see y'all on Moon Day for another Real HD show. All right, y'all. Y'all love on each other. We will be back on Moon Day to get it in. All right, peace, y'all.